whatever it takes. Gail is a jewel in dealing with hotels. Your assistant executive director, at this time at least, Dana and Donna Schirmer. And I would ask Dana at this time to introduce the new home office staff.
Thank you, Jerry. It's a labor of love putting this together. We've been working a long time. We're looking forward to the opportunity to have the home office set up. We do have some staff people here with us today, and we're happy that they're here. Linda Grindle down front here, which stand Linda. She's our full-time employee. Kathy Mears, a part-time person for us. She'll be working with us. Roy Stent from Omaha, Nebraska is going to actually be doing work for us via email. Our assistant director has already said, Jerry Reed. And we're happy to say that, as Jerry said, there's a lot of work that Gail does, and she's agreed to stay on and help us via the internet and emails to help us with our planning and directions and so forth. Gail Swindle. And that's our staff. Thank you. Oh, just one more thing. Won't forget my wife, Donna. She's going to be helping, as already has done a lot.
Thank you, Dana. And finally, the one person that always keeps me on track and allows me to have all the fun that I have, my wife, Dell. And I apologize for all the heartache that I caused her by working Saturdays and Sundays and into the night, even at home. So it is now my pleasure and privilege to present the CALLERLAB Chairman of the Board, John Marshall.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, folks. Well, good morning and welcome to another one. Nice full room. With the economy being what it is, we were all concerned what we might see. And you guys have, yet again, proven your dedication to the organization, and you've made ways to get here. And we do appreciate your being here. We're here for the duration. We're going to be right on. We've got a lot of good plans for you for future conventions as well. And the transition to the offices is a big deal. We've not had many of those, and this one may have been the smoothest we've ever experienced. And maybe we get better at it with practice. I'm not sure, but every 10, 15 years, maybe 20 would probably be a nice way to balance it out. I think that would be. Yeah, Dana, get with me on that, will you, Dana? We'll start planning now. Yeah. I thought it was going to be cold at his house tonight, but I got to tell you, it might be a little chilly at the evening meeting. Each year, we invite representatives from various dancing national and international organizations to join us for our convention. We're honored to have many of them with us. They come many years in a row. A lot of folks have been here repeatedly. I think some just come because they like coming. They don't have to. Their organizations, and you'll see this, some organizations have a formal representative here, and they also have somebody else here because they wanted to be a part of it, which means that all of our members apparently are doing a good job of making them feel welcome, and that's a good thing. That kind of outreach between organizations pays a lot of dividends over the long term. I'm going to introduce these folks to you today. We will ask you to hold your applause so they've had a chance to stand, get them all at the same time, and that'll keep our program moving. We have a lot we want to do this morning before we break out for that coffee. In fact, I said don't brew it nearby because I know how you are, and we're going to have. It was ironic they were going to ask Bill Harrison to be the guy that guarded the doors so people wouldn't leave the middle for coffee. If you know Bill, you'll understand we actually guard Bill so there will be coffee. And you don't see Tom Miller. That's because he's the guard. He knows. Again, please hold your applause until I've introduced these folks. Representing Roundalab, John and Karen Herr. Also with them from Roundalab, Alan and Linda Shaw, our good friends who have been many times. If you please remain standing. Representing the National Executive Committee, NEC, Connie and Jean Triplett. Where's Connie and Jean? There they are. I didn't recognize you without a green jacket on, but the shirt, but there's green shirts, so we're in good shape. All righty. Right. Also with the NEC, Harry and Pat Nelson, and they're here. They were also 52nd NSDC. Pat's not here. Okay, but Harry's here. There he is. Hi, Harry. Right. You can always tell the smart ones, can't you? Oh, she's in the back. She woke up. I don't know. You've been married longer than I have, but I figured out a while ago to put a bell around mine's neck. Well, I have to. Y'all heard about that ice hotel up in Iceland? I don't have to travel nearly that far. Wayne and Janice Bowman. Bail me out of this thing, Wayne. They're not here. So where's the help when you need it? Representing USDA, Jim and Edith Wepper. I know they're here. I saw them. They are also representing the Arts Alliance for Round, Traditional, and Squares. And Edith is treasurer of that organization, and Jim is vice chairman. Busy, busy people. Japan Square Dance Association, Shozo and Miyoko Nishimura, Mashahara Hiraga, known to us as Doc. I'm really glad they're here as well, very much. Again, I had to have you. Square Dance Callers Club of Great Britain, Trevor and Chris Day. So often with us, thank you so much for making that trip. USDA West Policy Board, Dave and Ruth Fullaway. And representing American Square Dance Magazine, Bill and Joanne Boyd. Please welcome them. You want to read this?
Well, just from here down.
Did you want to sign it? Mm-hmm. Last time he asked me to do that, he had a check underneath it. Well, this sounds a little better than the last one I got. Representing the 58th National Square Dance Convention in Long Beach, California, where we're all heading, I know. I'm going to be there. Ray Hutchinson, General Chairman. Thank you, Ray. Representing the 59th National Square Dance Convention in Louisville, Kentucky. Did I say it close? Louisville? Yeah, okay. Just thought I'd check on that. All right. Who said Lewis? Good heavens. Ron and Cindy Shane, General Chairman. Representing the 60th National Square Dance Convention from Detroit, Michigan. It's Louis Freelander. I don't think Nancy's with us, is she? No, okay, Lou. All right, Louis is here. Good to see you again. These folks are getting out and around. That's the 60th for them, and yet we saw them at Minilab in Canada. We saw them at Canadian National, and everywhere you turn around, they're showing up. And it makes me a little nervous because I thought he was going to take up calling, and that would be fine, but he wouldn't sign that membership application when he came up to Minilab. And we never did figure out why he was there, did we, Barry? He had a good time, though. Representing the Paul Place Memorial Fund, Lillian and Jim Gallagher. Are they here with us this morning? There they are. Welcome. This is continuation. Okay. I wasn't asking, I was telling you. Oh. The Overseas Dancers Association, Skip Brown. Thanks, Skip. Square Dance Callers Club of Great Britain. See, I told you, this has already been weaved down this road. He says it's my paper, not his. Where do you think I got this? afraid now. I'm afraid, I've got 4 scripts to work from, and 2 of them are for Wednesday. Can I do this?
First timers, yep.
You sure? I mean, we got to be out of here 10:15. All right. If you are attending CALLERLAB Convention for the very first time, please stand. And stay standing. 24 we have there. And in deference to time, we're not going to read all of your names. We've done that in the past, but they're all wearing a ribbon. It is brown on the bottom, and it says first timer. All of our members will be looking for you. They always do. They're going to welcome you. They want you to be here. They're glad you're here. We're very glad you're here. We hope you come back. Not everyone on that list is from this immediate area. Right? We often have folks get their first-time attendees as we move the convention around, but there are folks who've made the effort to travel further to be here, and we think that's great and that's exciting. We really do. Thank you guys for coming, and please keep it as part of your program. I said that part before I got to that page. If you have attended at least 5 CALLERLAB conventions, please stand and remain standing until we call your number. All right. I always think we should do this later in the morning for the stretch, but we're in it now. We're going to read off attending years, and as we reach the number of years you've attended the convention, please sit down. Exceeds. When it exceeds your number. 6. If you've not attended 6 or more, you can sit. Otherwise, you're good. 7. 8. 9. 312. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 is on my list, but I remember it. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Those remaining have attended every CALLERLAB Square Dance Convention since 1974. It's great. They don't look that old. They really don't. That's a good thing. That's what being a CALLERLAB member will do for you. Keep you looking young. Please identify yourself as I call your name. John Jones. John Kaltenthaler. Melton Luttrell. And Jim Mayo. Why am I doing that? They just stood up. Oh, I see. We let you sit down and we shouldn't have. Well, they're young enough, right? We were identifying you as the 4 who are here who have attended them all, right? Yeah. I'm going to kind of, you'll be very surprised by this, but I'm going to kind of step aside a little bit from the program script. How would you know? One of our attendees should have been able to be part of that last group, and just due to the vagaries of life getting in the way, missed last year. But a lot of people in this room will know this person because he's nearby, and that's Francis Zeller, and Francis is back this year. Francis, thank you. And is Julia? I didn't see Julia in the room. She did. She's not sulking. No, I know. She's down there polishing that jewelry. And she's only missed one as well. Yeah. Only missed one, which is amazing. Yeah. It's terrific. On this 36th anniversary of CALLERLAB, we're also very pleased to have 7 members with us who have served as chairman of the board. Please hold your applause until I have read all the names. Jim Mayo, John Jones, Cal Golden, Mike Seastrom, Jerry Junk, Mike Jacobs, Tim Mariner. All 7 of these have served as chairman, and we would note that Jim Mayo has served an additional term of chairman. Jim was our first chairman, and he also served in 2001, 2002. We're very pleased to have past chairman be here. They're still dedicated to the group and the organization, always have been. Tim Crawford was intending to be here. Circumstances some of you are familiar with the border crossings. There's something about a big picture. Gentlemen, sit down. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Finally, of the 117 callers who attended the 1974 convention 35 years ago, 9 are with us today. Will you please stand and be recognized as I call your names? Please hold your applause. Calvin Campbell, Marshall Flippo, Cal Golden, John Jones, John Kaltenthaler, Melton Luttrell, Jim Mayo, Norm Wilcox, and Francis Zeller. Amazing. I was just thinking about the amount of years of experience and commitment that these people have made, not only, of course, to the organization, but from home and their partners, and it's pretty amazing. Incoming. Thank you. Would everyone please stand? We'd like to have for a moment of silence for those callers and partners who are no longer with us. Thank you. You're going to give me that again next year. No. I won't. At this time, we're going to introduce the newly elected and re-elected members of the board. Would the newly elected board members come forward as I call your name? Scott Byers from California. Barry Clasper from Toronto, Canada. Actually, it's not professional, formally Toronto, but it'll do. Close enough. Thank you, gentlemen. Also, board members who were re-elected to a 3-year term, please come forward. Calvin Campbell, Robert Hurst, Tim Mariner, myself. You wrote that on there, myself. You actually wrote that? John Marshall. No, that's it. Jim Mayo. These folks have been reelected for a 3-year term. Would you please face the audience to be sworn in? Turn and face the audience. Okay. It's just what they need first thing in the morning. I was talking about the audience. As I introduce, we've done that. What are you going to do? I want the incumbent members. Okay. We're going to ask them to stand in place for the taking of the oath, and you'll take the oath with them as well. And that would be Clark Baker, Skip Brown, Deborah Carroll Jones, Betsy Gatta, Patty Green, Bill Harrison, Mike Jacobs, Jerry Jeston, Vernon Jones, Bear Miller, Tom Miller, not related, Tom Rudebach, Elmer Sheffield, Jerry Story, John Sobalski, and Norm Wilcox. This year, 2 of our board members cannot be with us. Larry Cole, who has a health issue, hopes to be back with us next go, and Tim Crawford, which we already mentioned. And Chuck Jewell. Oh, next page. See, why did you do it that way? Chuck Jaworski, who's currently on the board, and Bob Pointer. They are going to be retiring off the board this year. I'm going to turn you over to Jerry, who's got a whole book full of papers.
Thank you, John. Mika, I think it'd be kind of nice if the incumbent board members would also face the folks you serve.
Where are you, honey? Just trying to thaw that ice.
And if you would, let's do it this way this year. If you would, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Accept this position of trust as a serious responsibility and pledge my services during my term on the CALLERLAB Board of Governors. I will put the welfare of my fellow members before my personal feelings. I will support the decisions of the majority and abide by the CALLERLAB Code of Ethics. All this I pledge as my support of the ideals of CALLERLAB. Congratulations, Board of Governors. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the 2009-2010 Board of Governors.
We always have little errors and omissions, and we have insurance for that, right? That's you, Bear, and Tom. You're my insurance for my errors and omissions. Mike Kelly, who's with us, did attend the first convention, and we did not have him listed that way, but we are glad you're here. Where are you, Mike? Very good. Appreciation words were delivered. I don't think I need to. Do I even need to say that? Okay. I see. CALLERLAB Appreciation Awards were first presented at Virginia Beach in 1992 and have been presented at every convention since that time. It is presented to show CALLERLAB's appreciation for volunteer work in the support of CALLERLAB. The award reads, in grateful appreciation of your dedication and service to CALLERLAB by giving unselfishly of your time, energy, and knowledge to support the goals and ideals of CALLERLAB. This year, the appreciation awards were delivered with the convention packets. A lot of the work that they do, some of that is at the National Convention, helping to man the booth and other issues that they provide for us during the year. And those folks have received those awards. Much of the work, CALLERLAB, if not all, is done by our committees. Dedicated committee chairmen and vice chairmen are the people who make it happen with committee structure. Your executive committee has approved presenting appreciation awards to outgoing committee chairmen and vice chairmen. Some of the recipients could not make it to the convention this year. Their certificates will be mailed to them. I will ask those that are here to stand, please. Those who are not here don't have to stand. It doesn't really say that here. But Roy Gatta, Vice Chairman, Youth Committee. Tom Miller, Chair, Youth Committee. It's not because they got older and aren't youth anymore. It's just you're giving somebody else a turn. See, Tom? Looking out for you. Jerry, he makes me very afraid. Dave Vieira, Chair of Caller Associations. Norm Wilcox, Choreographic Review. Those that are not able to attend were Darrell Lipscomb, Vice Chair Advanced, Bill Van Heusen, Chair Education, Bruce Simpers, Chair Mainstream Teaching Order, Bev Sutter, Chair Partners, and Terry Wheeler, Vice Chair R&D. Thank you. We appreciate it very much. The idea of CALLERLAB conducting the caller training sessions at the National Convention was first proposed to the NEC at Anaheim in 1976. Those of us who have been around a while know that those folks didn't have anything else to do that year. 42,000 was it approximately? It was huge. It was amazing. And we started with these education training sessions. Plans were already in place for the 1977 in Atlantic City and 1978 in Oklahoma City. So the first CALLERLAB caller training seminars were held in Milwaukee in 1979. CALLERLAB has staffed these seminars since that time. Last year in Wichita, Kansas was the 29th year CALLERLAB had provided caller training seminars at the National Square Dance Convention. CALLERLAB would like to recognize our members that have given of their time to help with these popular and important sessions at the 57th National Square Dance Convention in Wichita, Kansas. I will ask award recipients to stand and remain standing when I read your name. Deborah Carroll Jones, Betsy Gatta, Paul Hensey, Mike Jacobs, John Jones, Jerry Junk, and Jerry Story. We thank you very much for all of that work that you do at convention at a busy time. There were 6 other coaches unable to attend convention, but were also helping in that capacity. Doug Davis, Randy Dougherty, Frank Lescunier, Tony Oxendine, Ken Ritucci, and Nasser Shukair. The CALLERLAB and the Foundation had a vendor booth at the 57th National Square Dance Convention in Wichita. We had requested members attending the convention to help out if they were attending the convention. A little circular, but okay. Several members did stop by the booth to help, and we'll ask them to stand and remain standing. Hold your applause, please. Clark Baker, Robert and Joanna Hurst, Bear Miller, Scott and Aaron Byers, Deborah Carroll Jones, Bob and Alan Riggs, Cal and Judy Campbell, John Jones, Bob Rollins. Why don't you just stay up there, John? We'll prop you up. Betsy and Roy Gatta, Vernon Jones. Vernon, where are you? Go prop him up. It's a son's duty. And Tom Rudebach, Patty and Steve Green, Francois Lemoreau. I've been waiting to say that all weekend. Right? And Jerry Story, Mike Hall, myself, Jim and Ann Watts. Thank them, please. You have a page 8? I really don't have a page, truly. Oh. This year, the Committee for Community Dance and Traditional Dance, the CCTD, Chairman Bob Riggs and Vice Chairman Calvin Campbell hosted another beginner dance leaders party seminar immediately prior to the convention. There were over 30 people at the seminar and 9 staff members. We plan to include this seminar as part of future conventions. Please talk to one of the staff members to get more information. Plan to attend next year. The following members staff this very successful seminar. Please stand as I call your name, and again, we'll hold applause till the end, acknowledging them together. Clark Baker, Calvin and Judy Campbell, Betsy Gatta, Mavis Gripper, Susan Morris, Dave and Ruth Fullaway, Bob Riggs, Dottie Welsh, and we already read Mavis, so I think that covers us. I don't think we've missed anyone. If we did, we apologize, but thank you. They were here early. They did a lot of work, and by all reports, it was a really good session. This session was recorded, was it not, Bob? I will reintroduce to you Jerry Reed, our Executive Director, who has administrative details.
First of all, the Program Policy Committee that was scheduled for 4:15 on Tuesday in Salon E has been canceled. You should have received in your packet a piece of paper that notified you that all of the sessions on Monday in Salon D were moved to Sioux, and Sioux is right around the corner here. On your green mini schedule, if you look at the right-hand column, the salon identifiers are not there. They got knocked off in the printing. If you would go to your issue of direction, not necessarily right now, at a later time, go to your issue of direction and get the salon identifiers, the A's through F's, I believe it is. For past chairmen in the room, your lunch today will be in Salon D. Susan Morris, are you in the, yeah, please see Gail after the meeting. This is Gail. The guidelines for conducting committee business and voting during the committee meetings here at the convention. Committee chairmen have been provided a list of committee members. Committee members must be on the committee 30 days prior to the convention to vote on committee business. Committees cannot override a decision made by the committee by mail. Any votes taken by the committee at this convention will be submitted to the entire committee for approval before they are binding. If anything is missing or wrong with your convention badge, package, room, temperature, you don't like the fact that it's raining, you don't like the fact that it's not raining, you don't like the fact that it's cold, you don't like the fact that it's hot, see the registration desk. We do use humans to do our work and put things together. Anyone interested in running for the board may pick up a petition at the convention registration desk. You must be an active member, which is voting member, a minimum of 3 years. You must obtain the signatures of 25 active members. There's a spot on there, I believe there's a spot on there for 30 because sometimes we can't read the names as they're put in. We would ask that you print the people signing petitions, print their name, and then sign the petition. Nominees will be given a few moments to campaign during the general meeting on Wednesday. We will be voting for 8 board members this year. Petitions may be turned in at the convention, and we do recommend that at the registration desk, or you may mail them to the home office before June 1st, 2009. You will need to submit a biographic resume and photograph to the home office by July 1st, 2009. Exhibitors are in Kansas A. See the convention package for a map that's on the mini schedule. Please support the vendors. They are here to serve you. I understand that Francis will be leaving after today. You won't be here tomorrow. Is that true? Okay. If you, I would encourage you to stop in at the vendor area and take a look at the extremely fine collection of jewelry that Francis has brought and Julie have brought to the convention for us. They will be not open tomorrow, so please see them today. Don't go there. All interest sessions will be taped by Convention Tapes International. It's very important to use the mic when you are asking a question during any of the interest sessions, not the committee meetings, but the interest sessions. If you don't use the mic, your comments will not be on the tape, the audio, and the moderator will have to repeat your question for the tape. Please also identify yourself when you step to the mic. Give your name and where you're from. Each intercession room will have a remote microphone, and we would like volunteers at each session to handle the remote mics. Tape order will be available here at the convention. I guess it's in the convention package. Did we get them in there? The tape order, audio tape order. Okay. See. Scott has a stack of them, so see Scott Argo. The audio will be available. They're a great resource for information. Anytime you want to go back and review any of the subjects that we're talking about, if you're called upon to do a presentation somewhere, It's a great source of information. Plus, it's fun sometimes to put in one of those audios and listen to some of the voices from the past, a Jack Murtha or a Jack Lazary, those folks who are no longer with us and yet had a tremendous amount of information and a great way of presenting information. Committee sign-ups. Please use the committee sign-up sheets in your package. If there are committees that you would like to be a part of, please do sign that up. If there's a committee that is of interest to you, talk to the committee chairman or somebody on the committee to get additional information about that. Or you can go to the CALLERLAB website, and there's information on the bless you. There's information on the CALLERLAB website about the committees, a description of what those committees are do. Critique sheets are extremely important. You should have gotten a critique sheet in your package. Please do fill those out. The critique sheets are copied for the executive committee, and they do, in fact, get those before the EC meeting and review them. We talk about them at the executive committee, and we do use them for planning for next year's convention. So they're very important to us. Please understand there's not a whole lot we can do next year about the hotel here. So, but if no, I'm serious. I mean, we can't do that. So please do turn in your critique sheet before you leave the convention. It makes it easier for Gail and John to make those copies. The BOG informals, this is your opportunity to sit down one-on-one, one-on-three, whatever the ratio happens to be, with a member of the Board of Governors. And it's your opportunity to give your input directly to the board. On Wednesday morning, the board will review all of the comments that come out of those BOG informals. There are 2 of them scheduled. You don't have to attend one to attend the other. We have 2 of them for your convenience, to work around your schedule. And if you do have comments about CALLERLAB, about the Board of Governors, about the direction CALLERLAB is taking or not taking, comments about square dancing in general, please do attend the Board of Governors and know that your comments will go directly to the board on Wednesday. I've already mentioned the schedule change on the white piece of paper. Please note that all of those sessions that were in Salon D today have been moved to Sue. Birds of a Feather sessions are for special interest groups, and there are some that are scheduled at this convention. Please take a look at the schedule and attend one of those that would be of interest to you. Breakfast tomorrow will be 7:30 to 9 on Tuesday and Wednesday. Your badge is your meal ticket, so make sure you wear that. If you have a special meal, you should have gotten a ticket in your package. Please use that when you go to the meal. Please do not tip the chairs to reserve seats. It is extremely dangerous for the wait staff and the attendees as they're walking through the banquet hall. If chairs are tipped up but they don't see it, it's easy to trip and fall. So please do not tip those up. And there was one other thing as I was thinking of that as I went by there. In past conventions, we have in fact invited the committee chairman to come up and invite people to go to their meeting. Today we have a special presentation for you, so we're going to forego that. But please do look at the direction. Please do read all of the committee descriptions. If you are on a committee, please do attend the committee. This is where you get the face-to-face interface with the other members of the committee. But please do read the committee briefs that are in the direction and pick a committee that you believe would be fun for you to, or interesting for you to attend. Let me do this. Can I just do this back here?
I think you should.
All right. This is my last time I'm going to be up here for today, I believe. Hold your applause. Remember to wear your badge. Because? Thank you. Here's John.
I wish I could share with you what I was thinking right now, but I learned a couple things in caller school a while back, so we'll not do that. A few other folks I would like to acknowledge, please. Representing the Single Squared Answers of the USA, Velma Doyle and Fred Moore. If you were here, please. Yes, thank you, guys. That's great. We're glad you're here. The representing the 17th National Canadian Convention is Dottie Welch. Hi, Dottie. Yeah. And the European Callers and Teachers Association, ECTA. Don Casper is with us. Thank you, Don. CALLERLAB is being represented by Betsy Gata. The International Association of Gay Square Dance Clubs, Chris Jensen. I saw Chris. This is special. A lot of us find it so. We said a special presentation, and this is for you to receive and enjoy. We're going to ask Ed Foote to speak with you this morning before we break out for our sessions. Ed?
Good morning. When I was asked to last fall to speak to you this morning, I was shocked. I mean, it's very humbling to be asked to make a presentation to the full convention. And so I asked the board, I said, well, what do you want me to talk on? And they said, anything you want. So with that in mind, I thought we would look a little bit today at how have you gotten to where you are in your calling career? What has gotten you to this point? And then also look at what can you possibly do next to take it to the next plateau that involves nothing that you would say on the mic. And for those of you in the room who are nut callers, I would say that after about my first few sentences, everything that I say will apply to whatever profession you are in. Have you ever considered what a privilege it is to be a caller? How many people in this country, we have 300 million people in the country, how many people are allowed in their everyday work to come in contact with the number of people that you come in contact with? There are doctors and nurses come in contact with a lot of people, but of course the medical system is cranking everybody through. They don't have much opportunity to spend much time with people. What about school teachers? Come in contact with a lot of people also, but again, they don't have much time to spend with individual people. As callers, we have the opportunity to interact with a great number of people, and we can interact with them on a one-to-one basis. And I'm curious why it is every time I'm up here, it hums. It happened earlier this morning, too. Well, if I got... Okay, maybe that might do it. Okay. I would venture to say that there are maybe only 15% of the people in the country that have the opportunity to interact with the number of people that you do. At 15%, I would say at the most. So why have you been privileged to be a caller? Why you specifically? I submit that you have been set up for success. That things have happened in your life to set you up to where you are now. This is what is known as synchronistic events. I love the term synchronicity. The definition of synchronicity is the simultaneous occurrence of events that appear to be significantly related, but you can't see why one event would ever cause the other event. How have things been set up for you in square dancing? First of all, just when you became a square dancer, you didn't say on a certain date, I'll become a square dancer. No, it just kind of happened out of the blue. That's the case with most people, that somebody invites you to a dance, or wife drags husband out to a dance or something, but you don't plan this ahead of time. And then how did you become a caller? You didn't say on November 1st, 1997, I will become a caller. No, it probably happened by accident. You tried out a singing call at a picnic, or somebody gave you a hoedown record and say, try this, and nothing was planned on this. And then once you became a caller, what about all the bookings that you received? Sure, you probably went out and requested some of those, but look at the bookings you received and then the ones you didn't receive. It's interesting if you step back and look at your life go by as though on a movie screen. And if you do that, you will be able to see these synchronistic events that have happened, that each one individually just appears by itself and unrelated. But taken together, it presents a grand plan for your life. I know in my story, in my situation, that's my story. I applied for graduate school, and I applied to school in Philadelphia, but I didn't have the grades to get into there, and I never figured I'd get in there. And I figured I would be going to the University of Virginia graduate school. And then all of a sudden, I got accepted at Philadelphia, which is where I really wanted to go. So I went there, but I had to be there in order to be able to accept the summer job in New York City, where I would then just happen to be able to find a place to stay at Columbia University that just happened to have a student union that every Friday night had a square dance. And that the person running the square dance, when I went back to school to Philadelphia in the fall, they had a list of all the clubs in Philadelphia to contact. When I started calling, the support of the dancers and callers that I received, I mean, they could easily have said, well, who are you to want to be a caller? And yet they all supported me right away. My parents supported me. They could have said, gee, we spent this money to send you to college. Why don't you forget this square dance stuff? But they didn't. They were very supportive. And my dad made one key comment. He said, do what makes you happy. And then when I went full-time, the synchronicity of my going full-time, I didn't plan that. My company left the state. It just moved away. Half of them went to Ohio and half of them went to West Virginia. To West Virginia. So, because I had no plans to go full-time calling. I submit that you were set up for success. But you had to say yes all along the way. You had free will all along the way. At any time you could have said, no, I don't want to do this. But thank goodness that didn't happen. You did say yes. I would like you to pause for just 30 seconds and think of these synchronistic events that have occurred in your life to get you where you are now. Go ahead. Next, I'd like you to consider who gave you encouragement along the way.
I'm not done.
When I look at him, I see red. Who gave you encouragement along the way? I am still amazed. I was dancing in Philadelphia, and I was dancing to a caller named Larry D., who had been calling for over 20 years. He's the author of AC Doocy, and he was a good caller, so I went out to him every week. And then I became a caller by accident, and right away he accepted as though I had been a long-time caller for 12 years, and I was equal with him. And I was shocked. He could have easily have said, you shouldn't be a caller, you're just a dancer. And yet he equated one-on-one with me and totally accepted me. And my home caller in Pittsburgh let me call for his dancers so that I could get a little practice. And some other callers let me practice calling with them and gave me advice. All of these people encouraged me along the way. How many people have encouraged you along the way that without their encouragement, you would not have gotten to where you are today? I'd like you to take another 30 seconds and think of these people that have helped you along the way. And I will time it for John.
I'm done.
I will give John the full 30 seconds. So why were you set up to be a caller? Why did things break right for you? Why did people encourage you at just the right time? Do you think it was luck? Think it was coincidence? Man. I really could do this without the mic, but I think they're taping it, so I'm not sure whether... yeah, they are taping it, so... if necessary, you are more important than the people listening to this, so if necessary, we'll turn this off and just go without it. I submit that it wasn't luck or coincidence, but that this was part of a grand plan for your life. I think we have been set up to be callers because there is one major thing that we can do for people along the way. And that is to make people happy. Actually, of course, everybody should be doing this, whatever their profession is. But as callers, we have the opportunity to make large numbers of people happy. For me, a successful caller is one who makes people happy. And we know we are making people happy if we are rebooked for the dances that we call. Now, we know that we can make people happy by calling the dance. We know people love to dance. And so all we have to do is just show up, call the dance, and then leave. And we're very confident that we have made virtually everybody there happy. But not if we give a talk. We have. But this morning, I want to go beyond that and ask the question, what can you do with all of these people at the dance to make them happy far and above just calling a dance for them? We've all made the first level. We all make people happy by calling the dance. But is there something we can do beyond that? My feeling is that there is. That we can make people individually feel good about themselves. And that's where we can take it to the next level. And that as callers, we have that opportunity because we have all the breaks at the dance, and we have before the dance and after dance. So how do we do this? What can we do to make people feel good individually? Well, we can affirm them. We can validate them. We can do things like say a sincere comment. You always smile at the dance, and I'm impressed because I noticed that. Or you always dress well at the dance, and I like the way you dress. Or you do the calls well. You have good styling when you do the calls. A sincere compliment. Some of the things that I do at the dance are I'll compliment some people on whatever. Say they have a nice outfit on. And what I do, I will do it intentionally excessive. And I will do it so excessive that they know it's a put on. I know it's a put on. I know that they know it's a put on. And they don't care. Because nobody ever compliments them at all, so they don't care if it's a put on. They just want to sit there and wallow in it because it feels so good for about 20 seconds. Things I do at the dance to make people feel good individually, I watch what's happening on the floor. Gerald Jampolsky, the well-known author, said, be a good finder. A good finder. Try to catch people red-handed in the act of doing something right. So as I'm calling along, I'll call do-sa-do. Just I want to see how the floor does do-sa-do. And we know in a lot of places they do this swing thing. So if I look out and everybody's doing the swing do-sa-do, but a couple people are doing it correctly, after the tip, I'm right down there on the floor congratulating them one-on-one. I'm a big believer in skirt work. So if I see a lady doing skirt work, I'm always there after the tip congratulating them. Swing your partner. Very few people know how to swing their partner these days. So if I see somebody swinging their partner, I just gush all over them after the tip. If somebody does well round dancing, I always stop and congratulate them and say how good you look as I'm going up to the stage for the next tip. And I forgot to mention one really good way, sincere way that you can affirm someone one-on-one is if they are doing a very significant job in our society that benefits a lot of people. Teachers, doctors, nurses, firemen, policemen. If somebody has one of those professions, you can affirm them and say, wow, isn't it wonderful all that you're doing to help people. Now, you have to find, of course, your own way to make people happy. What do you think you can do? What can you do to lift people's spirits? I'd like you to think in 30 seconds 3 things that you could do that just might pop into your mind that you might be able to do at a dance, not on the mic, but that you could do individually, one-on-one with someone to make them feel happy. I forgot to check the start.
Is there going to be a test?
Yes.
30 seconds, I'll bet.
That's very good. And I look at you, I see red. Now, when you make someone feel happy, of course, it makes you feel happy too. It's a win-win situation. There are 2 little quotes that I think really say it all. Leo Buscaglia, the well-known author, said, "Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, or the smallest act of caring. All of these have the potential to turn a life around." And Mother Teresa said, "Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are endless." Millions of people go to bed hungry every night for a kind word, a smile, or a pat on the back. That's where you can make the difference. Now, some of you may be saying, well, that's okay, but that just isn't my thing. I'm contented just to go call the dance and make people happy that way. And that's fine. That's wonderful. because you are making people happy, and if that's your thing, that's fine, no problem. And others of you are probably saying, well, I'm already doing that at dances or on the job. And to you, I applaud you for already doing that. And then others of you may say, well, yeah, it sounds kind of interesting, but I never thought about that. I don't see any opportunities at the dance to affirm people one-on-ones. I'm not quite sure how to do that. Well, the solution is that you say to yourself, I want to see these opportunities. I want to see these opportunities to help someone one-on-one. And if you do that, if at the start of each dance you say, what can I do tonight to make people happy one-on-one individually? If you do that, then I guarantee you those opportunities will present themselves and you will recognize them. Ask yourself in the coming months, what can I do to help people feel good about themselves individually at the dance? At the coffee break, say someone, well, what are you going to do to make somebody feel good? At the lunch table, the dinner table, ask somebody seated next to you at the table, well, what are you going to do along this line at the dance? And don't forget to encourage the new callers as you were encouraged on your start. If you continually ask this question and work on it, what can I do to make specific people happy? If you do that, then you will be living the mission that has been offered to you. Thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts with you.
Thank you, Ed. You make me happy. He does. He's always got a smile. Have you noticed? He always has a smile on his face. Yeah, just checking. Just checking. One quick note. We do want to ask all the members of the board to meet up in this front corner at the close of the session. I don't know why. I was just told to announce that. So, see Tom Miller, right? Yeah, okay, good. Please do that. Are you done, sir?
About 3 days I will be.
Put a fork in him. He's done. Okay. All right. No more announcements. Folks, this is a great start to the convention. We have a good feel for things. Ed, thank you for putting us on that track. All those things are certainly worth thinking about, and hopefully we all will, and we'll share those ideas. Just a minute. I'm busy. Right. I'll be with just a minute. You sure? Gail, would you talk to me? Okay. Have a great convention, everyone. That's why you're here. Share with everybody. Share everything you can. You'll go away a lot richer for it. Thank you very much. You better hurry.